Hey, welcome to some bonus coverage. We thought we might as well jump on and watch the remainder of this game and watch Mattthews hopefully pot 70, eh, Dylan?
As the 70s watch party.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Get out the wood panel station wagons, bays. We're going to the 70s.
Yeah, bud. Well,
Hot
man,
tub
it's
time
been
machine. We're going to the 70s.
Man, since like Mario scored that many goals, man, it literally was the 70s. It was that
Right.
long ago. It was crazy.
Mario's
man.
94, 95. Yeah, I felt
It feels
it's
like
the
the 70s.
70s for our kids. But
Pure craziness.
Mattthews must be like, what's going on? Rebo just scored. Gregor scored the other night.
Okay. Yeah, I've got I might be wrong time. What time do you got on the game right now?
4:13. I'm ticking down.
Left in the first or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, all right. Then I'm live then.
I'm on the stream.
Because I did record it and I was gonna watch the full thing, but if we haven't missed Mattthews 70, no big deal then.
Haven't missed it.
Yeah. We're gonna get it. I really hope so.
Is that Kucherov again? He is, man, the puck just finds that guy.
He's dynamite player. He really is. He just knows like where to go on the ice, to get ready to receive the puck, right? Like
this is
he's just
Nylander.
So talented.
Nylander's like him. Just not all the time.
And he doesn't fucking play defense.
But like,
hey, no fucking defense. Hey, no
defense bad. Score goals only. -2. He's got another minus tonight. He was on for the Kucherov goal.
And send the link to
come on, bro.
Dog. I mean, Dog's probably trying to the first link I sent. Here we go. I'll send him to the correct one. Reply. This one.
Yeah, anybody
want to
get
J Dog in here too?
Fucking join the show. It's a free for all.
Yeah.
It's the last game of the year. Anything goes. We're doing all the call-ups.
Well, and Jay's had a couple. We'll get him doing some crazy stuff. I hope we're not streaking on the show. I hope he keeps his clothes on. We don't need any slaps on the wrist from YouTube or Twitch.
Like YouTube's, like anyone's monitoring this right now.
They might be. You never know.
Well, they got AI monitoring it all the time.
Well, exactly. That's probably why they shut down part of our other live streams, just like going over footage. They thought we were watching an actual game. But yeah, I know it's a lot of fun to do these streams and to watch hockey with the boys. It's always a blast. We definitely should do these during the Leaf games in the playoffs, especially if we get deep. You got to do this. Yeah, I got to do this.
Yeah. I can't watch it alone, Jamie. If I'm home alone, like last year I watched.
There he is.
I think I watched it with my brother.
There he is. Dog's here. He's pounding some food.
Yeah. He's gotta grab some chow.
Oh, absolutely. I haven't eaten it either. I'll eat after. I got pizza that was made. So
what's the setup? You guys in the garage or what?
Basement.
I think they're in the basement. In the basement, right?
In the basement.
Good old Gallagher basement.
Gallagher basement.
North Bay Battalion, baby.
Look at that shirt. Oh, the big old tank on there. That's amazing.
It's a great logo.
Yo, Jamie, did you you didn't eat yet?
I am now.
I'm gonna get some Zach.
You gotta go and get an A&W $2 teen bagger every Leaf game. $2. Fuck, you can't even buy in what day and age can you buy a teen burger, a burger with bacon and cheese and lettuce and tomato for $2. It doesn't exist. You can't make it
for that price.
You go to a restaurant, you spend like $15 just for the burger. Not even 20 with the fries.
Have you
Get
guys
$2?
have you heard of the
If
Wendy's
you're, if you're tuning in, we got one viewer. Sorry to interrupt. We got one viewer. If you're tuning in, bonus coverage. We're watching the rest of the Leaf game, trying to see if Poppy will score his 70th and cheer him on. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Some bonus coverage for the remainder of the evening.
Well, just drinking and watching hockey, boys.
Absolutely.
What were you saying? Wendy's? What?
You ever go to Wendy's and get the T-Rex?
No.
It's 10
What's
patties.
What?
And you have?
Yeah,
You got to ask for it.
you gotta ask for it. It's not cheap.
It's not on the menu.
My
It's one
gosh,
of
you gotta be super hungry, bro.
Well, yeah, like a T-Rex hungry.
I don't know what it's called, but something similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, I was sweating for 2 days.
Is that what you get when you come out of jail for the first time, or what? Fucking go get the T-Rex.
Are you the
After all that prison
brother?
food?
You must have been. So,
We come out of the
let me ask
hospital?
you. You were on that's the show, right? What's
Jersey,
it called? Yeah. How was that experience, bro?
fantastic, man.
What show?
Shorzy.
Shorzy.
Oh, you were on Shorzy.
Yeah, I was a backup goalie.
That's
So
hilarious.
cool, man. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
We should get the Shorzy guys on this show.
Yeah, all right. I'll see what I can do.
Be
Let's
great.
do it.
Yeah, great to have the boys on the off season. We're gonna have some interviews and
Do
some
some
ex
fun
players
stuff.
and stuff. But get the Shoresies boys on, be amazing, be hilarious.
Yeah, they honestly they don't stop chirping. They just keep going. Like it's like I'm on the bench and they came by and they're like, "Oh, look at you, you fat bastard! Like you can score." I wasn't mad at all. It's like this is great. You know,
They
it's
just-
good.
The show I haven't
Constant.
watched the
Sounds like
I
my
haven't
two
watched it all.
sons that just keep chirping each other. My 9 and 11-year-old is fucking.
I can just imagine the chirps. I can just imagine
Oh
the
god,
chirps in your house, man.
it's hilarious.
It's
I haven't
Okay,
watched
we got
the full
another
show.
PP here.
yeah.
What's your name? I know you're J Dog's brother. What's your name?
Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve. I love it, Steve. Scuba Steve.
Love it.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
it's
All right.
you guys are going to talk hockey this weekend, right? And I have an old time friend that me and my buddy Wes and Mike Downey, we're doing our hockey talk this weekend. So,
Really?
or Downey's brother Mike, yeah. He's a huge
Very cool.
Boston, huge. And it's awesome. We have
I
good
thought Gord
talk.
Downey was a huge Leaf fan from Kingston.
Boston.
He's always Boston. Gord's
Gord
a Boston
Downey?
fan.
Gord
The
Downey.
Downey family was Boston fans.
Yo,
Yeah,
Downey
I
family
know.
was old Boston.
All
And-
Boston. Yeah.
Man, it's
Oh
great.
no, it was the other guy, the guy with the long hair.
Yeah, Robbie Bacon.
Yeah.
He's the huge Leaf
Yeah,
fan.
exactly.
And I got a picture of me. Did I not send it to you guys?
No, not yet.
I ran into him at the game, and I got a picture with him.
Nice.
Fucking fantastic.
Who was I with? I was with somebody, and he was at the Leaf game, and it was like, hey, that's blah, blah, blah from, what's his name again? The long-haired guitarist?
Robbie.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, I could recognize him. I just didn't remember his name. I knew he was from the Tragically Hip, and then we got my picture taken. I was like, and apparently he's a huge Leaf fan, and him and Gordy used to get into it all the time. They
It was
fucking hated each other.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Steven knows his Gord's brother fairly well. Not like I don't think they're best friends, but they know each other.
Pretty close.
But best hit of the season, not a joke. And when I say best hit of the season, doesn't matter what league or whatever. His son, Blake Bruce, this motherfucker out like there's been like no hit like it all year. I'll upload it. The best part is the Saturday. It's just
I
getting
can't hear you, Jay.
We can't hear
I
you,
hear-
Jay.
I
Yeah,
hear
you
the
break up in
commercials.
there. Yeah. You guys gotta have a maybe switch over. But
You guys sit on his lap. Just sit on. You guys are brothers.
I don't
Just
know if that's
fucking
actually
sit on his
possible or
lap.
one of them's gonna lose a fucking knee. One of them's gonna lose a fucking knee. Either boy. Yeah.
The best hit of the season, not a joke. Doesn't matter who's playing, what team, whatever. His son, Blake Bruce, not a joke. My nephew, proud as fuck, Saskatchewan boy, tough as fucking nails. And this kid, you never know. He might have a chance at some point because of the physicality, and he can skate and he can score actually. But I'll tell you this: I will upload the video, and I'm not joking. From out, this kid's just skating down the ice, down the left hand or right hand side, and from like it's like a shark hitting bait, dude. It's like that, and this other kid is like 4 feet to 5 feet in the air, and Blake just like runs this kid the fuck over. It was one of the best hits I've ever seen in my life, and it's from out of nowhere. And how you don't see somebody coming from the other side of the ice and nobody's in front of you and get hit like this, I have no idea. But he destroyed this kid, and it's the best hit of the year. I'll upload it soon.
Who's background noises on right now?
Probably mine.
So
There you go.
There we go.
this story. This is no shit of a lie. It was Brock Lesnar's son.
That's right.
Oh, it's even better.
The fuck.
Gotcha. See, Steven used to listen to Brock and his brother fucking fight in the fucking co-op.
Yeah, for sure.
On
Brock
Thursday.
Lesnar's from Saskatchewan?
No, he's American, but they live out
He
there.
lives in Merrifield.
They live in
Saskatchewan.
Merrifield.
What? Why would he be living in Saskatchewan of all places?
And
Yeah.
his wife
Quiet.
is still single.
His wife's still Sable. I don't move over. Fucking move over.
Yeah.
One of the best parts was I worked at an Ackland's Granger store, and she came in and she's wearing these like zebra style type pants from wrestling back in the day, and my face just went red, and she said, "You have my Playboy," and I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." she told Brock came into the store, looked down at me and goes, "I heard you said you have my wife's Playboy," and I said, "Hell yeah," and it was well worth it. That was not the reaction I was waiting for. He was trying to scare the shit out of me.
No fucking way. She's Canadian. Is she from Saskatchewan?
They both live in Merrifield, Saskatchewan.
But where is she Canadian? She was Canadian.
I think she had dual citizenship. Yeah, I think.
But she was born in Canada.
Yeah, and Steven lived in Moosomin for years. So
Yeah.
and that's where his kids are. And
Right.
And they play for the Moosomin Rangers.
Yeah, the Moosomin Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious. Yeah, man.
Where's
I remember Sable. She was a rocket. Hey?
Yeah,
That
she's
was
pretty
nailed,
smoking hot,
too.
that girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a funny
Are you
story.
gonna-
That's
I'm gonna
hilarious.
get Steven to upload this video.
Rena Lesnar.
Yeah.
August 8th, 1967.
He's checking
So
her out. Dirty dog.
yeah.
He's on Playway right now. He's like, let me
Oh,
thank you.
Steve
thank
says
you.
no
I'll
fake
see you
word.
later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go dark.
I'd like those leopard pants on as well. Thank you very much.
We're off. Off would be better.
That is hilarious.
I'm grabbing a beer, boys. Be right back.
So no, she's American. She's definitely American, but
Well, maybe
that's
dual
weird
citizen-
how they just were like, let's move to Saskatchewan. So Brock Lesnar and Sable live in some buttfuck town in Saskatchewan, and they're just loving life. They're just all stars there. God.
Yes. So Brock's dad bought, I don't know, like something like 10,000 acres of land out there. They do a lot of farming. And
Really?
Brock's brother is huge compared. Like Brock's big, Brock's brother's huge. And I was right in the middle. They started scrapping in the store, and I went, boys, there's people here. And my boss was like laughing his head off, going, "You're gonna fucking die."
Yeah,
And I
don't get in between the Lesnar brothers.
Huge. The kids are huge too. Like they're, you're gonna see. They'll probably end up being UFC fighters or something down the road.
Yeah, there's something there. They're growing up on a farm too, so they're just like Yarmer
big.
Yager out there lifting bales of hay and having massive quads.
Well, there's not much else to do in Saskatchewan except farm, oil, mining, whatever. But in the wintertime, it's hockey, man. It's crazy.
Love it. Well, it's really
Imagine
Canadian,
I wouldn't mind seeing a Lesnar on the back of a Toronto Maple Leaf jersey one day. Could you?
Fucking, the kid's gonna be able to scrap, fucking guaranteed.
Scrappy.
I'd rather see a Bruce, and after you see this fucking hit, it won't be a Lesnar, it'll be a Bruce before that. I tell you that.
Oh gosh,
You know,
That's
it's
hilarious.
destroyed, man. I'm not joking. It's like this kid gets like, it's incinerated. I don't. I feel bad for the kid. I'm sorry, but Blake's a fucking tank. This kid's
He's a Viking.
yeah.
That's
And-
my
oh,
son's
boy.
name too. Good name.
How old's Blake?
Blake is 14, going to be 15 here in about a week. Actually,
and he's built like me.
Good stuff. All right.
My
Wide
stomach-
shoulders.
nuts.
Wide
Yeah.
shoulders.
I almost said something, but I didn't. I held back.
Shut up, you
Look
stupid.
at these shoulders here I got. I've had these since I was 12. 11 actually. Yeah.
What?
It's how wide my
He's-
shoulders are.
He looks like
Yeah.
somebody off of Vikings. I like the show. I'm not joking. His mom's of that descent, and some of our family is too. But anyway, he's got that look with the blue eyes, the blonde hair, and he's just thick all the way, like from the shoulders right to his calves. So and he's got the mentality. Believe me.
Valhalla boys, eh?
My old man was saying that Mattthews just scored. No, I'm pretty sure they're just showing some replays, old man.
Yeah.
We don't have the second period on there yet.
Yeah, the
We'd know
game's
if
not
Matthews
even
scored
on.
the 70s. We'd be going fucking.
Get your
fucking
old man on
crazy.
here. Let's meet
I
him.
know. I told him, to get on the show.
Get him
and
down
just
here.
talk
Let's meet
hockey.
him.
Come on, Dad.
Is
There
he a
wouldn't be enough-
Boston fan?
No, he's Mike shy. He's
Oh,
Mike shy. He's sitting here watching
Yeah,
us
but
listen to
he's
us.
not shy.
Let me tell you a couple stories about old Pete. Okay, so Pete grew up in Kingston, Ontario,
Nice.
and he actually went to the same high school as the Downey boys, and knew them, right? So good old Canadian hockey player. My dad used to play hockey with Doug Gilmore in the Cornwall Royals. When he was in his senior year, Dougie joined the team. But also mentioned on this show earlier, Kenny Linsman. My dad played junior hockey with Kenny Linsman. Oh
Okay.
yeah, and my dad Kenny would stir some shit up, and my dad would come to his fucking rescue. Like he had dropped the glove so many fucking times for Kenny, just doing crazy, stupid shit like cross-checking people in the face and whacking people in the nuts. And oh man, I know Kenny's a crazy son of a bitch now, though. He really is. Smoking tons of weed and just being Kenny. Like my dad was down actually. Fast forward years, my dad's down here at Penny, and he's talking to the local barber, and the local barber says, she's like, apparently Kenny smokes a lot of dope. This guy's like 93. Even a 93-year-old knows. Like he's a big Kenny Linsman fan. He's got a hockey card that my dad gave him. He's like put it up on his desk or whatever. He just loves Kenny Linsman. Kenny Linsman was a great hockey player, as far as what my dad told me. He just loved to
I
play with
remember
him.
it. I'm old enough to
Yeah.
remember. He was phenomenal. He was very similar to Marchand. Marchand's a better player, no question, way more talented.
Yeah.
But what he did for his team, and don't forget, boys, Billy Barber, I used to babysit his fucking kids, basically. I was a recreational director down at Waltonian Inn for kids. My mom was the recreational director for Waltonian Inn in general. So in other words, she just paid me to babysit everybody's kids that were on vacation, which included Billy Barber. Now, I played my cousin Snuff Smith, Bruce Smith. We're not like best buddies anymore. However, he had me come and play with the Barber boys who lived like 4 doors down on their ice surface. Their dad used to make an ice surface that had like a 2-foot boards, and then they froze all the sides. So like a puck would maybe bounce off the side. Sometimes it would go in, but they had a crust there of ice and snow that would, they would maybe bounce the puck and keep it in, in play. But they had 2-foot boards. Now, I was a pretty good little hockey player. So these fuckers, Dickie, Dave.
That's actually super smart, Jay. That's actually super smart because I got to build a rink at my new place.
That's a great
Build
idea.
the boards 2 feet high, and then you
Yep.
just pile the snow, and then you wet the snow, and
Exactly.
you build around it. That's
Yep.
that's genius.
Yep.
That's
Well, it'd save you a shitload of fucking money, man.
right. Think
However,
about that. And it's
the
easier to shovel because you're shoveling all the snow out of there anyways,
over the top. Over the top.
right?
However, what they did to me, my mom was, she was worried about my health. So she made me wear a helmet, which only made them, if I made a move on somebody and actually beat somebody when I was like 7. Well, I moved here in 77. So in this house, actually, you see behind you, I moved here in 77 from North Bay to Callender. And if I think it was around 9, I was pretty good, but not like I wasn't great or nothing. But if I made a move around somebody, they literally, like, these guys were all older than me, Dickie, Danny, David, and Billy, all the Barber boys. They fucking picked me up and by the ankles and stuffed me head first into the fucking snow, which is frozen. And my legs would be kicking out, and my cousin Snuff would come over and grab me by the ankles and pull me out so I didn't fucking smother to death.
Oh my, that's crazy.
Wearing a bucky because your mom made you wear a bucky, and they
And that's
you're like, Mom, no, I'd rather get hurt. I'd rather get fucked up. I'd rather get hit with a puck in the head, man. As soon as I get Bucky's only gonna get me more beat up.
It was the old SK600, like the worst helmet ever made by Cooper.
Couldn't even protect you anyways.
I mean, they were just making fun of me from start to finish, right? Yeah, it was good times.
When I was in high school, me and the boys, we'd go down to there's like a fork in the Thames where just like a little bit of a little way, like a little bit of a bay, and then the Thames behind my buddy's place. We'd have to shovel off the ice, and it'd probably take a good, with 10, 15 people, maybe a good hour to like actually shovel it off. Because sometimes, like in London, you get foots of snow, right? But we wanted to play every Sunday, so sometimes we have to shovel it off. But we do it, get down there at 9 a.m., get the beers flowing. We're 14, 15, drinking the beers, and we just shovel off the snow, and then we'd pat it down. Yeah, so we'd actually have a little bit of like snowboards around it, right? And then we'd start playing, and we'd play until it got pitch black dark. Like just pitch black dark. The thing is, and the shitty thing is after having like 12 beers at that age, you're pretty drunk. Well, this buddy's place, you had to go up on this huge steep ravine, man. This one time, I fucking just couldn't get up. Like, and I'm a big boy back then too, right? So like, guys are trying to pull me up, and I've had a few beers, and I'm just like trying to get up this ravine. I'm just slipping down every time, and got guys behind me pushing me up, trying to get me up to like the one ledge part, and it's like 12 feet, right? Like, it's not easy. Like, and I just try to get up. So anyway, I ended up sleeping down there.
Christ. Like trying to fucking push a giraffe up a ladder.
Oh man, it was so bad. I ended up fucking having to sleep down there. It was fucking -20 that night. It was fucking cold,
Wait,
man.
you slept down there?
Oh yeah, so they bought me nobody could get me up. So anyway, so fucking my boys were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna stay down there with you." Fucking, so they left me there. And I was thinking, I'm fucked. Nobody's coming back for me. They're gone. It's a Saturday night, and then they all came back. Like 10 of them came back. And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna stay down there with you. We called your mom. She's fine with it. You're staying at TJ's place. It's fine." So yeah, build a fire. We all just hovered on the fire. They brought more beer. It was a great old night. But yeah, no, we used to do that every Saturday night outside of hockey season, where we were just hanging out with the boys playing hockey, and that was the night I just couldn't get up the hill. I had my skates on too, and I'm trying to dig in, but it was all slippery as fuck. And even the other guys had a hard time getting up too. Like it was really fucking hard. It was really, really hard. But yeah, no, I was just too big of a boy and had too many beers, and I just couldn't get up. So like, oh fuck it, we'll just have a party. Yeah, -20 down there, having a raging fire though. Having a raging fire.
Jamie, what's your email? How do you spell your email? Lastnamesyoung.
Yeah, just tell the whole world. Lastnamesyoung@gmail.com. Yeah, lastnamesyoung@gmail.com.
Yeah. All
one shot. Yeah.
All 5 viewers are going to email you tonight.
Steve's trying to say
I'll have to change it, but I'll have to change it when when we become famous, like somebody
Change
pulls
it.
this video to the
Famous Jamie.
the-
You can change it to famous Jamie Young at gmail.com.
Steve just sent you the text
I think.
or the
All right, cool.
The hit?
yeah, dude. It is like if I'm
Do you
not
want
too
me to?
sure.
Do you want me to throw it up on video?
Yes, you got to show this
Okay,
dude.
okay. All right. Let's do it.
He
Let's do it.
just like nails this kid face on, and if that's Lesnar's kid, I can't wait. I hope he retorts.
Brock Lesnar's kid. We got exclusive video, folks. You heard it here first. Brock Lesnar's
We gotta
kid
download
gets
this shit
schmooced.
first.
I
Give me a
honestly don't give a shit whose kid this
couple
is.
minutes here.
Best hits I've ever seen in my life.
Oh God, I'm excited
14,
now.
14-year-olds
Yeah.
All right,
dropping
let's just,
shoulder.
Oh no!
I can't
Like
wait.
Going
spin
here.
on face first, destroyed chest to chest, and it's incredible. It's one of the best hits I've ever seen. I've laid some good
Okay,
hits.
all right. I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch it because I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised, so I'm not gonna watch it. But I got it up here. So let me get it up on the actual
Let me get
screen
it
here,
up.
boys.
Again in public, please.
Present and share screen. All right.
Is Marty
window.
St. Louis the Tampa Bay all-time point leader, or is it LeCavalier?
All right. Can you boys see that? Yeah, here we go. All right, let's play this shit. Let me get back here.
Oh, it's Stamkos.
Right. Here we go. Here we go.
Watch this.
Left of the screen.
Left of the screen, or right of the screen. Right of the screen.
God.
Oh yeah, he went.
Okay, we gotta play it
flying.
again. Play it
Yes,
again.
well, it's
Play
slow.
it again.
Can you go
It's-
slow?
Yeah.
I'll try. So here,
Just watch that kid.
here.
Boom!
Oh, that is a big hit. Yeah. Let's go through it slowly.
Here we go. Here we go. Frame by frame.
Here we go. Here. Oh,
Yeah, it's a
look at
small
him.
kid on a big.
Oh,
Look at that.
Look at. Oh my.
Oh my God. He
Oh
blew
yeah.
up.
He's definitely up there. 2 feet.
Yeah.
3 feet. 3.5. And then lands like probably on his back, eh? Like that was a big hit.
No shit.
All right,
Kaboom.
one more time. One more time.
One more
'Cause
time.
that's a crusher. That's
full
a
speed.
crusher. Oh my.
Boom.
It's an open ice hit. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah,
like
you
you know,
don't see that.
No. That's
You don't know how to
fantastic.
good for that kid to be able to even do one of those. Like that's a
that's
skill.
my nephew, man. That's
Yeah.
Steve. Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
all-
Lost
I love
art.
it. I love it. It's Scuba Steve's son. Yeah, Scuba Steve's
Let's
son.
go.
Way to go.
Is
Thanks
that not
for
a
sharing
hockey
that,
name,
Scuba
though?
Steve?
Blake Bruce. That's a hockey name. I'm sorry. That's
All
coming up.
right, Blake Bruce. Let's watch out for it in the OHL draft coming up in what?
This one. It's Seattle.
2027? No, I'm doing 2025 or 2026?
Yeah.
Possible 22.
Oh.
2026.
You could. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he a good skater? Can he skate?
Is actually he's checks back checks all the time. Coach was undecided whether he's more of a winger or defenseman, so it was nice to see him play both ways.
He's what I've noticed, like I watch his game. Steven sends me the link. Mooseman has a link
Barn.
where you can live watch the game. So I watch, and from last year to this year, this kid he's a bit of a late bloomer, and I tell you, he needs there needs to be an eye kept on him because he's a Benoit type player. That's the guy he is. Not a joke. He's going to be quiet
Right.
until he's not. That's what I like about him.
Right.
And
teach you how to fight there, Scuba Steve.
Oh, listen, the mentality's there. This is a tough kid. Like, and the mentality, he plays football too. So, and he likes to run people over. So I like, he's got the mentality.
And he scores.
Love it.
You know, they were talking about Kucherov a minute ago.
Yeah,
You know,
watch.
he's on pace to crush Stamkos' record
Yep.
for
Yeah.
the franchise record after
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close. Like he's played 724 games for Tampa, has 871 points.
That's
Like
crazy.
Stamkos is played 1,081 games and has 1135. Like he's just over a point a game.
It's
Kucherov's
amazing.
well over a point a game. It's
Sure,
it's
true.
Yeah,
However,
145 this year.
Kucherov's age is he's a little up there, and Kucherov plays more physical than Stamkos did. So I don't know that he'll
I
last.
don't know, man.
Well, he does.
He's pretty physical.
Yeah, but Kucherov's pretty fucking mean. You
Yeah,
watch him.
he's a mean bastard.
I know. I don't like him at all. I'm not joking.
But he plays like Ovechkin. He plays like Ovechkin.
I love the skill.
The guy knows how to party, though. Holy shit. Does he ever know how to have a good time, though, eh? That guy? Holy shit. That was his problem at the All-Star game. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Him and Pasta were getting up to something no good that night, being stupid the night before the All-Star game.
Nick Paul, breakaway.
Yeah.
Didn't score. No skill. He reminds me of Nick Antropov, another Nick we are familiar with. Remember that fucking guy?
Listen, I don't want him to score against the Leafs. I'm not going to argue that. However, if you noticed, there's been a lot of talk about him throughout this game. We were watching this here, and it's on him all the time. The guy is actually
he's in the play. He's in the play.
Yeah,
he's a factor. He's a factor.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's not.
And that's the thing about Nylander. He's either a huge factor or he's a no factor.
Yeah, true.
He's not just a factor every game, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to see him play in the Stanley Cup Finals or in the World Cup? Because that's how most of those guys play. Look at Laine, right? Laine is the same way. He's like, I don't care. I can play Nintendo or whatever and still get beaked up by Torts back in the day, and he didn't care.
He plays Fortnite, Laine. He was playing Fortnite. Was late for all his hockey games and shit. He's just fucking
my oldest boy used to play against him, kick his ass, and he got cried and went off.
Really?
Fortnite, yeah. Laine. He's really good.
Soft, sensitive.
Sensitive. He doesn't care. He's getting paid how much? He doesn't care. Just, and then when it comes to World Cup, they get $6 million more just to play for World Cup because of the country, the home country.
Right.
So that's
Nylander's Nylander's dad's like he's like they're tight, right? Like he's like his agent and shit.
Yeah,
he tells him everything to do. He tells him how he's feeling. So I like the point. Who made that point earlier was like the fact that Nylander's dad is probably like, just take it easy out there. Don't worry about it.
J-Dog.
Yeah.
J-Dog. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's you
Oh.
see how these players are, right? It's like right now, the fact that they throw Jones in now, they should have threw him in 2 games previous.
Yeah.
And give him the end of the season.
Jones is a better goalie.
He's a great goalie.
I think Jones is the best goalie they have.
Agreed.
Yeah,
never used him. You talked about this numerous times, man. I hated Samsonov save for the longest time, and I was like, give Jones a fucking chance. Like, for Christ almighty, like,
this is
the
the
guy
problem
fucking played.
Toronto sends Harold Ballard. They have Harold Ballard syndrome. You guys are not old enough for that shit.
I know the Harold Ballard syndrome.
Well, I know it a little better. And
I bet you do.
My step family out of Sudbury, the Hallinan family, is related to that motherfucker. My dad's ex-wife, we're related to him. And anyway, point being, the guy right out, I remember watching right after the Stones played in Maple Leaf Gardens. I'm trying to think of the announcer. I can't remember the announcer exactly, but asked him a question about the Leafs and why he doesn't spend any money. And he right out said, why would I spend money on a bunch of superstars when I pack the roof, pack this place to the roof every night with a bunch of dummies that are willing to pay maximum amount of money to watch a piss poor fucking team. Why money? That was his comments. And it's stuck since. Now, when they brought in Shanahan, I really thought that's when times changed. I really did because, hometown boy, played for a winning team, all that kind of crap. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, he fell right into the same fucking line of bullshit. And this team, if they don't win this year, honestly, you got to tear the team down. Not a joke. You got to get rid of Marner.
You
gotta
have
get
to.
rid of,
You have to.
get
Yeah,
rid
you
of
have
Willie.
to.
You got to get
It's
rid
so
of
true, though, Jay. You could suck. You could never have a winning team. What a business proposition that is.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
to
yeah.
never fuck
third
me.
most, third
To
most
never have a winning team and just make millions and millions and millions of dollars. You don't even have a good product. You don't have a good product.
Yeah.
Sorry, millions a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
billions of dollars.
Duclair with that goal, man. That was kind of nasty. Eh?
That's kind of like getting paid to be the weatherman. You know, you're wrong all the time and it doesn't matter.
Only right 50%
What a
of the
goal.
time.
I have to admit, Jake Paul, what a goal. Declare scored, but that's a Jake Paul setup right there. Like
Nick Paul?
Jake Paul is the assist. Like he had
Nick
goal.
Paul.
Sorry, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's fighting
I've been watching too
Mike
much
Tyson.
Thanks. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't want to give those guys any more airtime.
No, I
Mike
apologize.
Tyson must be doing all right. I thought he was bankrupt, like living in a small house or something. Like he had no money at one point.
Mike Tyson? No, dude. He like 3 or 4 years ago, he went on the road doing a comedy show, not a joke, and he made millions from it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Dude. And you know what? He's way smarter than everybody gives him credit for.
He is now.
Every night he was doing, well, I don't know how many shows he did, but he was on the road telling his life story, but he made a comedy show out of it. And it was actually quite good. You can watch it on Netflix. It's actually really good. He tells.
I heard about it.
He told the story about how he was taken advantage of. He didn't rape anybody, just so you know. Well, he might have raped somebody, but it wasn't the people that. It wasn't who they're talking about. That's all I'm saying. I don't know anything else, whatever. But why would a guy that makes millions at the time? I wouldn't doubt that he was worth $1 billion. And why would he need to rape anybody? There was women that were falling at his feet. It didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like think about the way women think.
Set up.
And back, especially even back, like maybe not now, but back then, a man that had that kind of pedigree, like any woman that was single and didn't have anybody sorting them out, would love to have a man that would impregnate them, and with that kind of pedigree. And that is, you know, like, I know I'm going to get shit for saying shit like that, but that's the mentality of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm not saying now, obviously times have changed, blah, blah, blah. But if you think about that as a human being, if I was a woman, that's the way I would think. I would want my kid to be strong. You know what I mean? So
what a guy though, like a guy that's dead fucking broke, no money, lost everything, but he still had, like, he was still Mike Tyson, man. He transcended the sport. He was a world-renowned boxer. Like, he was unbelievable. You still watch his videos of him punching people out. It's
when he pounded Larry
Tyson. Oh my god, man! Don't get me started. Mike Tyson knockout videos. That's what I watch. I watch that shit to get pumped up.
Yeah,
when I want to get fucking really fired up, I'll be like, Mike Tyson, greatest fucking knockouts.
Right.
Like, I'll watch that shit all the fucking time, man.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good idea. I'm going to use that as a coaching strategy when I coach the kids in the next hockey season. I'm going to be like,
dude, the force that guy hit somebody's face with. Like, Jake Paul's fucking crazy.
He's so crazy.
Nuts. Are you fucking stupid? Like, and I'm sorry, if Jake Paul,
how much
is
he making though? $6 million to fight this guy?
But one punch could kill you. Could literally kill you
with a boxing glove on.
Tyson.
I'd fight him for $6 million. I wouldn't even train a day. I'd go like,
I'd eat fucking chips and ice cream. I'd get as fat as I fucking could. I would eat
Butterball versus Mike Tyson again.
I'd be like the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia when he got fat. Have you ever seen that show? Where he goes and gets fat for a whole episode. He's just mowing. I know he's just
that's a great show.
Dirty greaser, and then he gets ripped after that.
Bam Margera's dad, feed Phil. I'd be like, feed Phil, just like keep feeding me for the year. He's gonna be
I'm like, okay, boys, I'm ready to fight Mike Tyson now. I'm super fat.
Oh my god, that fight is so rigged. Like it just has rigged.
I will
Right.
fight Tyson if somebody else pays me. I'll even put it to $750,000.
I'll fight Mike Tyson. No, listen, this is a hockey show, boys. I'll fight Mike Tyson on skates. So he has to go and learn how to skate
Hey,
first.
that's fair.
Huh? Right?
That is
I think
fair.
that you've got the advantage.
See? I would fucking crush Mike Tyson on a pair of skates.
And with
I'm not a big
jerseys
guy.
on too. Not shirtless, with jerseys.
Yeah.
He was
The
come
full-
on
Yeah,
to
and
you,
equipment.
and just hammer punch you into the ice.
Yeah, but he'd be up there he wouldn't be able to stand.
Wait.
I would take the
I
over-under
guarantee
on
Mike
any
Tyson's
Canadian
never
boy.
skated.
I would take the over-under on any Canadian hockey player over Mike Tyson if the skate was on, or if the fight was on skates. I'd take any Canadian hockey player.
He's probably, you know what's funny? So he's probably been waiting for shit like that. He's been skating for 20 years on Figure Skaters on Ice. He's been with Disney for 8 years.
He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
what?
bring it
But
on.
he's just like a sleeper. He's been doing it. He's just like, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life.
This is
He's
a topic
been-
on our next show. We're
Yeah.
talking about this.
So funny.
We are talking about this in full detail.
Let's get him on. Let's try to get him on. Let's try and make
Mike
contact.
Tyson, come
I'll
talk.
fight him though.
Come
I will.
talk,
I
Mike.
will on the ice. I like that idea. I'll fight him on the ice. I will. Actually,
That's
I
funny
do both.
fucking shit.
I do both. I don't give a shit get knocked out. I'd like to tell the story. I don't give a
It's
shit.
a different ball game,
Fun.
man.
Great.
Fighting
I'm
on
not-
skates. That's
Oh, yeah.
why it's the only sport that you're allowed to fight. Because fighting on skates is so fucked up. It's not the same.
Mattthews off the crossbar, boys.
Just now?
Saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, just now.
But they're shorty.
Mattthews off the crossbar. And people
But
in the
there's-
stands that are there to watch him, holy shit, you should have seen their expressions.
Think about
Wow.
this. You want to know the truth? You look at one of the most
Am I
famous.
behind? What? How much time left in the game right now?
Okay, so you might be
9:56.
behind. Let me see here.
Second.
So when it
Second.
went to commercial, I'll
9:56.
rewind. When it went to commercial, it had 9:07 left in the second.
Oh yeah, I'm a ways behind.
So
Yeah.
listen to this, boys. So you guys know Nick Kiprius, right? You know who he is. I was at
Real Kipper is my favorite fucking show on TV.
Great show.
And I say it to my dad every single time I watch a show on a daily basis. After the show's done, I'm like, that is the best fucking show on all of TV.
I
I
think
love
he
it.
talks. I love the way he talks. Apparently, I went to Chippewa at the same time as him, and I don't remember him. Sean, I'm not joking. Sean and Toski, all those guys, they were.
No, it was
Whatever.
a 3-on-0.
I'm not sure if I'm right. However, he's a North Centennials and blah blah blah. And I hear always stories of when he was at Chippewa because he was a big dude. He'd have to bend down on one knee to drink out of the water fountain, and he was that big a guy.
He's a big
Now-
old boy, that boy. Yeah.
Now, no matter what, Sean and Toski, like Tyler Erdl, those guys, I knew a little bit back in the day. The Hatcher brothers used to live with Dave Burns, who's a good family friend. All Hatcher brothers. Darian was dating a good friend of, a friend of mine that now lives in Petawawa. She works for the military in Petawawa in the hospital, and her husband owned a gym in Chalk River. But Darian went out with her for a long time. I'm not going to mention any names just because. But anyway, Kevin and Mark, a lot of people don't know about Mark. Mark was bigger than those boys. Like, he might not have been the tallest one. I can't remember, but I think he was 6'4" or 6'5", and he was like 270. Like, he was a monster of a man, and he used to fight, and he was a good hockey player. But apparently, the story goes, he pulled plug, got drafted, but pulled plug, and went back with their dad. They're from Detroit. And helped run the cement factory, pavement factory, whatever, that did all the like paving for the city of Detroit, like for the roads and grounds and shit like that. So I'm not 100% on this. This is just what I remember. We're going back like 40 years, boys. So this is what I remember. But anyway, Darian and I have talked a few times over the years and whatever, and he'd come back. Same thing with Sean and Toski, another guy, good dude. got into a little bit of an issue when it came to my hometown. He beat the crap out of a couple of dudes that were picking on. It was either Tyler Ertl or just a second. Spoltor, John Spoltor, rest his soul. If I remember correctly, he passed in a car accident a while back. But anyway, Sean beat the shit out of 3 dudes that were picking on him, and had to come back from Vancouver for a little judicial issue when it came to that.
No.
Yeah, and that was the last time I saw him. The funny part is that, and we've talked about this like frequently though, is so Sean's last day in North Bay. I know I'm going around circles here, but Sean's last day in North Bay, he had a Plymouth. I can't remember what kind of car, but it was a piece of shit, and he had no money, and he ran out of gas, and we had to push his car from Memorial Gardens, where the Centennials played, now the Battalion, up the road to the gas station so he could put $5 worth of gas in his car. The unfortunate part for me was that not only did I help him, he didn't have the $5, and I had to give him the $5 for gas.
So, you know what? No, we're laughing about this now. Like, that's probably a real fucking thing that happens all the time here in Canada now.
That's funny. So I tease the shit over there every time we talk here. Well, every other time we talk, I always say, you still owe me $5 plus interest. And, seeing as how you made good money, I think I should probably get at least 100,000.
Yeah, hey, that's
apparently Willie's the only Leaf that played all 82 games this year. I just saw that post.
Who? Sorry,
Willie Nylander. Surprise, surprise! He played all 82 games because he doesn't fucking go in the corners.
Yeah, well, of course, right? Like, he doesn't take any hits.
When every shift
he doesn't have any wear or tear on his body.
No,
he's around. Like, he's like, I have the puck. I'll shoot it on net when I think it's right to. Like, for fuck's sake,
boys. Listen. There's nobody that's more critical. There's no fans more critical than the Leaf fans.
Oh, and right. That's our job.
That's
why we're the most hated fans in the world.
It's the reason.
I really don't give a fuck about how hated we are, man. Like we're the most passionate fans of all sports. There's nobody else that freaking loves our team.
Don't want to come to fucking Toronto. The pressure of playing in Toronto. Tom Wilson could have came. The difference that guy would have made 2 years ago on this team, he could have came.
Oh, I know, eh? I know.
This just in. Nylander backcheck for the first time this season and stopped a potential goal.
Oh, just about to say.
Hear ye. Come one, come all. Come see Nylander for the first time ever. He's backchecked, folks.
He watched their show and half that. He watched their show.
A shot.
After the last game, let's be positive. We gotta start.
That's his first back check of the year. It took him 82 games to do it.
Hey man, maybe he's waking the fuck up. He's like, he's a fan. He's a fan of Keep Your Head Up Hockey. He's a private fan. He is. I'm calling it out now.
We're not
heard
watching
us in the first intermission. He's like, you know what? These boys are right.
We're actually not watching for Pappy's 70. We're watching for Nylander's first block shot of the year. That's more impressive. That's actually more impressive to play 82 games and not block one shot.
Fucking pathetic is what it is. Yo, Scuba Steve, so you're talking about your chat with the Downey boys. So is that going to be broadcasted? Can we let our fans know like where they can watch it?
No, it's more of a private thing, but I don't know. We could figure something out maybe or another time.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it'd be fantastic. Yeah, to talk hockey with those guys, it'd be great. In the off season, it'd be fantastic.
Well, the story, like if you said your dad played with the Downey boys.
Well, he grew up in the Kingston area and knew of the Downey boys and went to high school with them, right? So they know of each other. And like I went to, I think, 18 Tragically Hip shows, and the reason being was because of my dad. He's like, he pushed me. He's just like, dude, he's like we got to go watch these guys. And I grew up to like every time we went to the cottage, every time we went to, play hockey, like the Hip was just banging in the car, like whether well, if that was controlling it, it was always the hit. There's
That's
nobody else. You know,
Locker room.
then I'd throw on my random bullshit that
You know what
freaking
I
people
love
like,
about the
but
hip is they never sold out. They could have been worldwide fucking famous, you know, and they
always
stayed
what they
true
wanted to write.
to the soul of music, right? True
Yeah.
to the art, and every song's a hit, man. Like they're just, I don't even know. I think there's people who have never even heard of the hip, have never even heard all these songs that are just unbelievable songs. Like
Yeah.
gems.
Cool fact.
Every
Cool
single
fact
one.
I
of them.
found out on my Spotify, like for the year, that kind of gives you stats on your Spotify. I'm a big Spotify user, and they said over the last 3 years, I've been in the top 1% of listeners for the Tragically Hip. So I'm the
Nice.
top of the top. I'm a huge fan. So you name any song, you name any lyric, I'll tell you what it is.
That's great.
Yeah,
Steve,
I'm a
Steve
huge
is the
fan.
same.
I sent you a picture.
Oh, did you? All
Yeah, I
right,
did.
let me check it out.
Check it out.
Let me check it out.
You might appreciate it.
All right, all right.
I gotta find my photo of me and.
Oh, those are gourds, eh?
Yeah, I own them.
Dude. Okay, let's put them up on screen. So we're talking about them. Like, might as well. Let me download the picture, and then we'll throw it up on screen. That's really, really cool. Dad, don't come check it out because it's gonna be on screen. I know you don't want to, but I'll show you the picture later. He owns Gord Downey's goalie pads. Yeah, Scuba Steve, which is J Dog's brother. Oh yeah, my dad's kind of getting a little bit jealous. I think he thinks it's pretty cool. That's all. Share screen.
more in the
Let's
cheerleader.
see. Let me get that pulled up here. There we go. All right, so let me share screen window. There we go. All right, there they are, boys and girls. Beautiful pads too. They're Brian's. Those are gorgeous, and of
Oh.
course the Boston Bruin colors.
Boston.
Like,
Ah,
you know,
They're from Boston. They're
oh, they're
actually
from Boston.
game worn Boston Bruins and given to Gord to play in a beer league tournament. And I
no.
Now you own them.
Yeah.
Now you own them. That's fucking amazing.
And you
Where
have
are they
those.
in your house? Where are they in your house?
they're actually they're in storage safely at the moment. So
No, put them on the fucking wall. Do them now.
How do you put those on the wall? Like, where do those go? Like, what's your wife
You
gonna
don't-
say?
you don't-
What
you
the
don't
fuck are
fucking
these?
damage them.
What do you know? You know where you put them? You know where you put them? You put them on the couch as couch pillows.
No, you fucking don't. You're gonna fart on them. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
No, you put them,
Makes me
on
feel
the
hockey
fucking
fan.
wall.
Yeah.
You put them in the bar. You put them on the wall, and you don't damage them. You just kind of hook them to the wall. You put them on the goddamn wall, Scuba Steve. You fucking do that for everybody to see and everybody to appreciate them. Maybe wrap them in saran wrap or some shit first. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
I gotta
you put them up for everybody to see them.
yeah, it's
Yeah, you need like a display case or something, like a big glass display case.
Let's Scuba Steve finish here. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Scuba? If I could throw them on the wall, buddy.
it's a cool story. I mean, it was and the fact that Mike wants him back, and I said, well, maybe we should bring him to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Who knows?
There you go, and see if they want them, right?
Well, anything's possible. I mean, I've had very, I don't know how to put it, great stories with the Tragically Hip. I've been very fortunate. And one of the crazy things that people don't realize is that the Headstones, lead singer from Moist, Dougie Gilmore, all those guys played hockey on the same rinks growing up. And it's just like when you think about it and go, wow, the music that's been produced in Canada and what's played in hockey rooms, you know, and then they're all hockey fans. I mean, it comes together. Music and hockey just comes together.
How many
Absolutely,
famous
yeah.
guys from Kingston from that era too? Like
So
Jesus.
many, man. It's ridiculous.
Muller, fucking that, like
It's kind of like St. Louis and like Green Day and Pearl Jam and all those bands that came out in the 90s and stuff. It's
It's
just
just
like,
crazy. The amount of talent from Kingston, whether it be musically or
Mhm.
hockey wise, but especially hockey.
Don
like,
Cherry's
holy
from Kingston,
shit.
isn't he?
So I
Don
was
Cherry, Kirk Muller. My dad used to get babysat. Well, no, the other way around. You used to babysit Kirk Muller?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad, when he grew up, he used to babysit Kirk Muller.
that's
Like
awesome.
it just and Don Cherry, no word of a lie, Don Cherry used to drive my dad to church league hockey because my dad played with Don's brother. So Don used to drive him all the time to the games because he was the older brother.
That's
Like just
hilarious.
crazy stuff. One night, I'll tell you, was probably the best night of my life. So my dad used to do some business with a guy named Mike Shaky Walton. My dad was in mortgages and did a bunch of work for him. And Mike Shaky Walton, you probably know that name, of course, right? So Mike's like, okay, well, I was going through a bunch of surgeries when I was younger, and he's like, I want to bring your son to a Leaf game. So doesn't he bring me to the greatest in my life, even in yours too, the greatest Leaf game ever? Freaking LA versus fucking the Leafs conference fucking final. Like just amazing. Like I just couldn't believe it to go to a playoff game. I was freaking 9, and just starting to play hockey, and I was really talented, and I had just broken Eric Lindros's goal scoring in the red circle in Brampton when he was 9. He put up a number, I think it was of 56 goals of the year. I had 58. So anyway, I just broke that record. And I'm pretty sure that record still hangs to that day. But anyway, so my dad brings me to the Leaf game against the Kings. Well, I'm Mike Shaky Walton's guest. Well, don't we sit in the Leaf alumni box for the whole game? So I'm in between Frank Mahovlich and Johnny Bauer at 9 years of age. I just couldn't believe it, man. And like we're back in the age where like it was probably equivalent of probably $40 to buy a handheld camera. Like you know what I mean? So I have no fucking pictures of the game, but I can remember everything vividly. I also got to meet Don Cherry, and he remembered my dad and like gave me a big shake in the hand. He's like, Peter, man, I haven't seen you in years. Great to talk to you. Then Don's like, how's your game? You're working out, son. And I'm 9 years old. He's like, you must be doing push-ups by now, aren't you? Like, he's like, yeah, work hard, because you know what, someday you could be here. And like he's in the red plaid.
Is that your Don Cherry voice? That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Oh yeah, it was terrible. But anyway, the greatest thing that happened that night was before the game. Don brought me right beside where all the players go on the ice. And don't I get to watch the whole LA team go on the ice? And I've got players that are stopping to talk to Don, but the Don's like, hey, meet my friend Jamie, like every single time. So Marty McSorley, like I can't even remember all the names, but Wayne Gretzky, of all people, took, and this is a playoff game, took a good 10 minutes to stand there and talk to me. Yeah. And I just remember how tall he was, like, because I never thought how tall he was. He's a tall guy on skates, right? Like, yeah, it was just an amazing, and Marty was one of my favorites because I like the fighters, and it was really cool to talk to Marty, and he was really funny and outgoing, and he like poked me in the stomach. He's like, "Oh, for a rock hard there, boy." Like just the funny stuff that they said, that kind of just sticks with me. But that night definitely was the Leaf game of my life, and I never will have another experience like that. Yeah, the players that I met, I can't even remember the names off the top of my head right now, but to sit beside Johnny Bauer of all people for the whole night, that guy wanted to hear about how I was playing, and what my team was doing, and who my favorite player was, which is Doug Gilmour, because my dad played with him, and just the respect that he gave me while he was watching a playoff game just was insane. Like just the nicest guy I had ever met in my whole life. And Frank Mahovlich was great too, but Johnny Bauer was something different,
Yeah.
like, and what an absolute fucking legend that he was. So yeah, pretty cool night for me. And Leafs ended up winning that game, right, Pete? They won that one, and then they went back to LA.
Yeah.
And they won that one too, and then they came back and lost, and that's what. Yeah, when they put everybody in front of the net, remember that? When they just shoved everybody in front of the net, because they knew that the Leafs playing great, you know what I mean? They just threw everybody at the end of the game right in front of the net. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And they ended up not getting through. Like, oh, that was rough. That'd be the year that we win the Stanley Cup, right? And the coach, I still remember when they threw everybody in front of the net. I was like, what the fuck? I wasn't at that game, but I was watching on TV. I just couldn't believe it. So like, it wouldn't be allowed. I don't think that strategy would be allowed in today's game. What do you guys think about that?
Didn't they do that play in with 1 sec? Oh my God! Tampa just scored again, for Christ's sake.
5-1.
By the way, Nikita
I hope
Kucherov,
the
100 assists this year. 100.
Crazy.
I'll tell you.
Anyway, with Connor.
Didn't they do that play where they put 4 guys on the wing in front of the net and with one centerman?
I'll tell you a good story regarding the when Gretzky cut Gilmore. So a buddy of mine, Greg Mann, who I was just
Gretzky, what Gilmore? Oh, high stick them?
Yeah. When
Yeah, 93.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Greg Mann, buddy of mine, one of my best friends, his dad got us tickets to see Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. My ticket actually said Toronto Maple Leafs versus Montreal Canadiens. They were printed off by the team, by the company somehow or another, who had some sort of, I think it was Sears. It was through Sears or something. Anyway, so Greg and I obviously go, and it's not Toronto. Toronto loses because of the cut and the high stick and the goal scoring, all by Gretzky. But anyway, point being, yes, I'm still sour. We get to Montreal, and it was Game 3, and we got tickets, and we're in the nosebleeds. However, it was a good game. Blah blah blah. I will say this: there's a lot of fucking flies in that building back in the day. I mean, like house flies everywhere, flying around. Like you could grab a net, and 1,000 of them would have been in your net.
The gardens? Oh fuck yeah! Yeah, I agree.
No, this is Montreal at the Forum way back when.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're wearing. So we get in the car. Not the car. We're down, staying down on Saint Laurent. We're at this. I can't remember what hotel. We're staying right across from where the Habs play or go to at I think it's called Thursdays, and on St. Catherine Street. And I said Saint Laurent, but St. Catherine's. Anyway, so we go down, and we've already had a couple of drinks, and we're at the hotel, had a few, and I said, well, fuck it, let's call a cab. So we call a cab, get in the cab. We had just been to McDonald's. We still have our drinks. We're wearing our Leafs jerseys in protest. Not a joke. So I got my signed Wendell Clark jersey on, autographed, the whole deal. Game worn fucking jersey. I'm wearing that. Greg's got his, I can't remember who it was at the time, but he's got his Maple Leaf jersey on. The cab driver takes off, and Greg's got one of those extra large Cokes, and he takes off. The lid pops off.
Oh no!
Okay, so that's not bad enough. We get to the corner just before we turn to the Forum, and the cab driver runs into this girl in another car. Greg spills his drink again. And then he's just covered in Coke, right? And the cab driver goes to get out to give, like, okay, it's my fault, blah, blah, blah. The girl takes off. I don't have insurance. And she leaves. So it's her fault. Anyway, so that happens. We get into the Forum. The best part that happens is, not a joke, we're in the nosebleed section, and this beautiful, looks like Brooke Shields, wearing a number 10 Guy Lafleur shirt, is sitting right beside us, and she talked to us the whole game, thanked us for wearing our Toronto jerseys because she thought that Toronto should be in the final. Even though she was a Habs fan, she thought Toronto was the best team that year and should have won the whole thing.
Wow.
We were in shock. Well, she was that hot. We were in shock, and then she was talking to us. But I mean,
that kind of
93, man. I was 12 years old, man. I didn't know
in fucking Montreal.
Form, and we were on.
I was so upset. I was so sad, man. I was just devastated.
And they ended up winning the goddamn fucking cup. Like, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, and Desjardins, if I remember correctly, scored the winning goal in that game. And I'm trying to think. Leclerc scored a goal. I can't remember who else. Anyway, it was a really good game. And we were like, when we left, I'm not joking, there was a ton of Hab fans that said
Tarts.
they were happy that we were wearing our Leaf jerseys in protest because they didn't think that LA deserved to be there, which was kind of cool. Yeah.
That is kind of cool. That is kind of cool. But it would have been a way better final, I think, if it was Montreal and Leafs. And I really think that the Leafs probably would have beat them. I
Oh,
really do.
well,
Like going
you know,
back in time and watching the video, and it's just
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, who was the best player on the team that year, Dad, when they won the cup? 93. Your buddy that you used to babysit.
No, Dave Kean.
Dave Kean. Okay, Dave Kean.
that's
All right.
that's a little before that, but yeah, best Leaf ever, maybe.
Yeah, best Leaf ever. But I was gonna say, what? Oh, fuck! I
My,
can't remember.
my buddy Mark Paxton. Shout out to Mark Paxton. He had a little sickness there in the last couple of years. From what I understand, is doing all right now. He owns Crystal Springs, Canadian Springs, whatever water franchise here in North Bay and Sudbury. Shout out to him. Hope he's feeling better. I haven't talked to him in a few years because I haven't been home and whatever. But anyway, that guy, he's a couple of years older than me, and every conversation brings up Dave Keon. Like that. I've never heard anybody talk about Dave Keon like him. And I've known a couple of Leafs, throughout my life, and well enough to have good conversation with them. But nobody talks about Dave Keon like Mark Paxton. So a little shout out to Mark.
So cool. Yeah. No. Keon's one of the best ever for sure. And my favorite's definitely Doug Gilmour, but there probably was better from them before him. Like, yeah, I like Sittler too. Like, I'm a big Sittler fan, and the 10-point game, like that's probably a record that never will be broken. Like if it would have been done, it would have been already done by Connor McDavid, and it hasn't been done yet. So I don't ever think it'll be done. I think it'll be a record that'll hold.
We never
One
thought
of those records,
we never thought the goal scoring would be broken by Gretzky, and look what's going on. So I don't ever.
10-point game though. 10-point game with the goalies, with the size of the goalies, with the size of the equipment. Really, like a 10-point game. Like, oh man, you never know, right? But if the team's playing against somebody like San Jose, well, maybe it's possible. But holy shit, dude, freaking 10-point game, man. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive stuff. But yeah, no, it's unfortunate. Is the end of the game now, Dad? Or no, it's in the second. Okay, cool. So it's still no goal for Poppy. We're still waiting for the 70th. We're down 5-1 now.
That's
Like,
it's a sad thought right now. The way that the Leafs are playing, they're obviously, I'm not impressed. I'll be honest with you. I like Winnipeg. I like the players. I like the changes they made this year, and it was few, but they had the best goalie in the league. They got the best, I think, the top 3 defensive cores in the league, and they have probably as good as anybody 3 lines deep. I won't say their 4th line is as good as Toronto or anybody else, but I'd say that their 3rd line is probably better than every other 3rd line in the NHL, and I think that that's going to make a difference.
Yeah, we'll see.
Goaltending.
Yeah, for sure. The Leafs though against Boston, to bring it up again, like these are 2 ugly games that the Leafs are going through right now, and I'd obviously want them to have them before going to Boston, but it's not refreshing to see them play like this. Get like letting Florida get 31 fucking shots or 29 shots in the second period of last night's game. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, tonight 5-1 against a team that you guys said won't beat the other Florida team. I totally disagree with you. They're going to pound the fuck out.
Now I kind of changed my opinion, but if they're going to play like this, yeah.
They've been playing like this for a month and a half, boys. They were out of the playoff race a month and a half ago, and I mean way out of it. They are now like the best team in the league. They have been playing better than every other team in this league for a month and a half. They look at the record.
That's gets this look in his fucking eye, and then they zoom in on his face when he's on his game, and it's like he's just fucking staring into the abyss. Like he's on his fucking game. Like he's a goalie that one of the best that we've seen in our time.
Oh, for sure. He's been one of the most consistent goalies in the NHL for 5 to 7 years. It's not just him though. You look who you've got. Kucherov, obviously, 140 points, and then you got like I mean, and he's getting. They only
Braden
played
Point, good old Canadian boy.
82
Braden
games.
Point.
Yeah, well, Point is the most he there's him and there's 2 or 3 other guys, but like I'd say him and Barkov might be the 2 most underrated players in the NHL. Brayden Point would be the star on every team in the NHL, including Toronto, over Mattthews if he was playing. Yes, Mattthews would score more goals, there's no question, but Brayden Point would be the focus of that team. I guarantee you if he was on Toronto. He is a better player
sure.
at both ends of the rink than and I okay, that's not true. I would say that he's a more effective player for the whole game than Mattthews is. Mattthews does play both ends of the rink. However, Point seems to be able to play in any type of situation where Mattthews is he's good in his own end, he's good in the middle, and he's obviously great offensively. Where Point is equally good in every part of the rink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he is a minus 14 this year, but I think that's because of the struggles that they had earlier on in the year.
Yeah,
But Kucherov, 142 points, and he's only a plus 10. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like, but if we pull up, but if we pull up the Leaf stats, it's kind of like the complete different, which is kind of crazy. Like everybody's got a huge plus minus. Like it's insane. Like here, I'll pull it up here now and go over it with you. So Austin Mattthews a plus 32. Austin Mattthews plus 32 for the year with only 107 points. So it's like, whoa, okay. Mitch Marner plus 22 with only 85 points. And then we've got like Max Domi is a plus 10. We've got Jake McCabe is a plus 20. We've got Brody is a plus 17. But the reason is because the amount of goals that we scored this year. We scored the third highest in the league.
Coaching, I'll tell you. Listen, if you're a good coach, the teams that you look at when those points are scored, the guys that are that don't have the higher plus minus, like as in for the positive, the coaching is what it comes down to. When you're facing off against a team in their own zone, who are you going to put out there? Of course, you're going to put Mattthews and Marner and whatever out. Okay, but when you're in the opposing zone, who do you put out there? You want to put out there. There's and as far as penalty kill, the Leafs took a fair amount of penalties this year. I don't know. I think they're middle of the pack. Yeah, so I think they're middle of the pack. Again, it comes down to coaching. But put like you're not putting Mattthews out there to kill penalties very often. Marner sometimes, but look at who's out there during the penalty kills. There's where the plus minus happens lots. And you're not. Yes, Mattthews is one of the best shot blockers in the league, and he's the best. I think he's I believe he's the best takeaway guy in the league.
He is.
Yeah.
That's why I think he's the MVP of the league right there, is because of those two stats plus the goals he scored. He's the number one takeaway guy and the number one block shot guy. He's a fucking goal scorer phenomena, and he still blocks the most shots in the whole league. That's fucking crazy.
Who? Yeah. Kucherov?
No,
we're talking about Mattthews, brother.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You know what? I kind of at this point I don't care if he gets 70. In fact, I don't want him to get 70 because everybody who's had all these teams that have these amazing like regular seasons, Kucherov, Boston Bruins with their President's Trophy wins, the Rangers. They don't do shit in the playoffs, man. Playoffs is a different ball game. It's a different game.
I agree. However, the best
70 goals doesn't mean shit. Do something in the playoffs.
I agree with you to a point. You're used to the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's the problem. So am I. However, you look at the good teams that have won. They played solid through the season, and they played solid through the playoffs. Boston, Tampa Bay, fucking LA, the last few dynasty type teams or ish teams all played fantastic through the regular season and played phenomenal through the playoffs. You knew Chicago alone, man. Chicago when Taves and fucking Kane and Kane were playing, you couldn't beat them in the regular season. You couldn't beat them in the playoffs.
I know.
So there's no. You're used to Toronto. That's the thing. We're all used to it. I agree. I had that same thought, but when you actually break it down and you look at it, you'll see there's nobody that's gonna play. You're gonna have Florida was a little bit of an anomaly, I will say. They weren't the best team in the league when they won, or when they made it to the final. But yeah, like
they got swept in the final. It's pretty bad when you get fucking swept. You're a shit team when you get swept in the final. You should never get swept in the final.
Team. Come on, you had to make it through 3 other of the best teams in the league.
They had a hot goalie, bro. They got outshot every game. Every game they got outshot. That matters, man. When you're getting outshot, like you're getting,
but I'm not arguing the fact that they got outshot and that makes a difference, obviously. But the point is, they still, no matter what, that like last year, the winner is the winner for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They 4 straight in a Stanley Cup final. Like, come on. Anyway, I get it. I know what you're saying. I just think, it's like let's bring on the playoffs, man. It's the regular season is over. Like, who cares what happened? What matters about the regular season is who makes the playoffs, and now any team has a chance.
Just so
Come on,
you know,
Mattthews, I want 70.
I was trying to get Darren Turcotte on the show right now, and he's ignoring me. a little late. He's seen my text and stuff and whatever, but he's ignoring me. But I'll try and get him on. And I was trying to get Sean and Toski on too because they used to play together. I was trying to get the both of them on. I thought this would be a fun time to get them on.
We got throw them the link.
Yeah. But I did already, but nothing. I think I waited too late. I'll have to give them a little bit of notice beforehand.
Well, of course, probably had a couple beers.
We're gonna do this all playoffs, boys. This is gonna be our. We're just gonna have a playoff. We're gonna be sitting around watching hockey and just throw the stream link up there. Who cares?
Might as well. And also too, like with these new programs where you can like cut it up and just throw the show into a program, like it costs money or whatever, but they can just cut up like the TikTok videos for us, right? So if something gold comes, like the AI is gonna catch it and they're gonna make a great TikTok, right? So it's nice to watch hockey and be like the celebrations and stuff too, right? Like gonna be wild to
the energy.
Have that on video. So, but I'm gonna have my buddy Chris on the show when I go to London. He's gonna come on. He's a brilliant hockey mind and definitely is a huge Leaf fan and wants to be on the show. So I told him that we'd have him on for a little bit of an episode, a little bit of a guest appearance. Probably, obviously, the live watches will have him on, not the actual show, but
I don't think it's going to come down to like coaching this year too, right? It's going to be Sheldon Keefe's last chance to coach this team in the playoffs. I think big time.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it done,
look what he's done the last 2 games. He's been he hasn't coached at all. He's been like, go out there and get Mattthews his 70th goal. I don't care about look, they're getting dusted by Tampa right now. Like that can't be good. I don't know.
Well, it's Shanahan's last chance. Better. More importantly, it's Shanahan's last fucking chance. Like the guy's been fucking the president of the Leafs, basically since he's retired, and he fucking hasn't done fuck all yet. Mm-hmm. And he promises the promised land. We're gonna do a complete rebuild. We're gonna fucking go and we're gonna take over the goddamn world. And what has happened? Fucking nothing. And he's the guy that's calling the shots, and he's just sitting on his fucking hands as far as I'm concerned the last couple of years. Like if I was him, like Keefe would have been gone to start the year. We can't risk with this core four and all the money that we spent to get this team where it is, to do nothing, right? And Trebling has actually done a really good fucking job in bringing in the toughness. And I wasn't sure about it when it actually happened. I thought he wasn't, as aggressive as I thought he should be. But what he's brought in has actually made a lot of sense. And I'm really happy with what he's done. And the only time will tell on the success on that, right? But we're a
There's
tougher
not much
fucking
you can
squad.
do at this point.
Being third team in the league in hits, that says a fucking lot about the change from last year to this year on this team. Because I think we were like right in the middle of the pack on that stat last year. And I can pull it up, but I'm pretty sure we were right in the middle of the pack on that. And we're top 3 in hits. I was looking at that today. I just couldn't believe it. Only behind Florida and Boston. Like, that's
Is
huge.
Domi playing tonight? He's been invisible.
Yeah, well, at least he's getting
I haven't
his
heard
legs.
his name at all.
Well, I think he did get popped in the face, and I think one really hurt him in that one fight that he had where he stepped in with Mattthews, because that's when he stopped playing, right? So I think they were just resting him and not saying nothing to nobody. I think he got popped in the face, and one really
Did
hurt.
he get
so
popped
he
in
just
that
had to keep the
fight?
lights
Because
off. He did get popped once. Yeah,
he got a lot of criticism from that fight because he went after a guy who doesn't really.
Oh,
fight
fuck him, because he's a rookie. Whatever.
They kept
guys
putting
playing
Ty Domi on the
Mattthews too hard.
screen. And Ty Domi's just like giving the.
Oh,
It's like, but like Ty, like why he's just so expressionless. Like why are you sitting down there with the fans though? Like are you sitting right in there? Like, go sit in the
I
box.
don't know. I don't get it because he loves the attention, and I don't think that he likes that his son gets the attention that he is now, because now it pulls away from his attention. Seriously, like Ty's that type of guy where
He didn't look
you always
happy,
wanted
though.
the attention on him.
He didn't look happy. His son was fighting.
I think that's crap. He's prouder than fuck of his son. His son's playing well. He might not be playing tonight, but he's been playing great. And Mattthews wouldn't have his last 10 goals if it wasn't for Domi. So
Yeah, right.
You know, like that's all bullshit. I'm sorry, but like Ty, like you know what? Ty was a lot better player than people give him credit for. He actually was fast. He actually was a spark plug. He could score goals. The year they offered him, I like if you scored 10 goals, like for every 10 goals you score, you get $1 million. He scored 18 goals that year. You know, like come on, he was, and before that, I think he only scored 12. And so he actually, actually, I think he fought less. However, he fought Probert, I think, 4 times that year, and Grimson once or twice, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so you had
Grimson, Buffalo Sabres,
the Raper. No, he was with LA at the time, I believe. But he was actually a much better player. It's like, again, I'll bring Sean and Toski up. I'll tell you this right now. When he was playing for the Centennials, he was one of the best players in the OHL. Not just physical, but also a good goal-scoring dude. That guy was 6'4", and he was 240, and he 250, somewhere in there, as a high school student, and was fucking scoring goals like an NHLer. Not a joke. Darren Turcotte, those guys were all playing at the time. And this guy, he was the fastest guy in the OHL, and they used him as a fighter. He could have scored 30 or 40 goals a year if they used him right. You know, it just depends on coaching.
So the hit stats, I just pulled them up. We were dead third last in hits last year, and we're top 3 this year. That's crazy stat. Wanted to bring that up because I've been looking out for it and I finally found it.
So everyone's been asking for the toughness. Okay, the fans are saying it. All the armchair coaches and armchair GMs out there. Oh, this team's not tough enough to do anything in the playoffs. Not tough enough. All right. We went from here it is. Then
not third.
You got what you asked for. So don't be pissed when.
Yeah, basically
shit like this happens.
Dead last in hits to top 3.
Oh, it's not going to help.
Fucking insane.
So if that's not going to help, then what is it? They got the scoring. They got the hitting.
It's now on them. It's now on them, man. It's
on the players.
The team.
On the players.
It's on the players.
It's
the heart. It's the drive. It's the passion. What won the Stanley Cup last year? Maybe it was a little bit about coaching, but it was the drive and the heart and the passion of the players. And it always comes down to that, man.
More
You look at the
Canadians
greatest
on the
Stanley Cup
team.
winners of all time, it's always the passion, it's always the drive. And we've got the team this year. If we can't do it this year, I don't think we'll ever do it. I sincerely mean that, and I'll go to the grave with that. That's fine. I don't think the Leafs will ever win the Stanley Cup if they don't do it this year. I just like maybe if okay, so let's say they don't win.
I'll be honest, Jamie. They don't feel like a Stanley Cup team. Like they could.
I
be,
know,
but
but
don't.
did Florida?
They just
Did
don't.
Florida before they knocked out the fucking greatest fucking regular season team of all time last year?
No, but then they lost
before
4 straight in the
went to
Stanley Cup final. But they were
But,
also banged
hey,
up.
I'll
pretty
take
bad.
that. I'll take that.
They were also
If
pretty
the Leafs
banged
go to
up.
the Stanley Cup Finals, I'll take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we got to get to the conference final this year.
Never even got to the
like,
conference final since 93.
We got to get to the conference final this year at least, and if not, I will be disappointed huge for sure. I really think we've got what it takes. I really do, as long as everybody steps up.
No, we were in the conference finals in 2003 against Carolina.
Were we? I don't think we were. 93 was the last time we were in the conference final. No, let me double check that, but I'm pretty
Carolina,
sure no.
We played Carolina, and Archer's fucking Urbe shut us down.
Okay, so
and then Carolina went on to play Calgary and won the cup.
When was the last time Leafs were in the conference?
Yes, Carolina beat Edmonton.
Edmonton.
I was on the way back.
You're right, 2002.
2002.
Yeah, I was on the way back from Dominican Republic on my first vacation with my wife, and I met Don and Ron in the airport right after they came back from.
Of course you did.
That's too funny.
First time I met them, Don and Ron. I met them in the airport. They were on their way back from Carolina, and we had a little chit chat about Chris Pronger and the mean motherfucker that he was. And if they had one more player that was similar to him, that would have been a little different ending. Ryan Smith was the captain of the Oilers at the time, and was not playing the way that. Well, that's the discussion that they had. Was not playing the way that he was playing in the previous. He was injured, right? So he ended up, not being the guy he was or should have been in that final. Don continued to hit on my wife that whole time we were talking, just so you know. Told me how good looking my wife was. Said I wasn't good enough for her.
A couple pints on the flight.
Fucking hilarious.
Hey,
anyway,
not to interrupt, but the Leafs have a power play. So I hope that we can get her down here now. Let's not let this 5-1 loss go to waste.
I'm sorry. They might get a goal, but they're only going to get one or two more, if anything. I doubt it. The Tampa is one of the best.
Just get the 70. The only reason I'm watching this game
they're going to win. I want the 70. I want the 70. If we played Mattthews in this game, let's get him to 70 here. Like,
I agree. Sorry, I agree.
Okay, but anyway, so the Leafs went to the conference final against Carolina. They got through a couple tough teams. Who did they beat to get to the conference final? And I'm like, we got this. It's Archer's Urbe. Nobody knows who Archer's Urbe is. He sucks. He's a little guy.
San Jose, buddy.
The worst Joe helmet on the planet. The only other guy that wore the same helmet was
stupid. We got this team. It's Carolina. They're an expansion team. They're like 3 years in the league at the time, right?
They had Ron Francis, did they not?
They did have Ron Francis.
Yes, sir.
I wonder what year that was.
Ren Rod the Bod, Rod Brindamore.
Yeah, hey, Pete, I think so. When we went to the San Jose Leafs playoff game, when Arthur's Urbe was playing, and we're sitting in the corner in the Gardens, and the Leafs beat them like 7 or 8-1. Do you remember that game? How old was I then? Maybe 8 or 9 years old. So we're looking at probably 2022, 2023. No, 2002 or
I was in Baghdad, but you're still in Dad.
So 84, so 92 or 93. What year was it? No, it wasn't 93. It was 94. 94. It must have been 94, the year after. I can't remember. But yeah, we went to a playoff game where we played San Jose.
Yeah.
and the Leafs ended up like stomping the shit out of the Leafs in the Gardens. We were there, and we were like the whole Gardens with chirping, Bay, Bay. So then the next game when they go to San Jose, they'll like chirp, Podvin,
Right.
Podvin. Oh, it was crazy. But to be part of that chirp for Urbe when he was having like the worst game of his life was
Yeah.
was kind of fun.
Laviolette was the coach of the Hurricanes when they won.
Laviolette.
Oh, okay.
Really? He's a good coach. I would like him to coach the Leafs. I like him.
No,
No?
no, no, no.
Oh. What do you know?
He's-
Something I don't know.
Rob
This-
Brendamore.
Yeah, Rod Brindamore would be a great coach of the Leafs.
Rod
Yeah,
the boss.
Rob Brendamore, or even St. Louis.
Paul Maurice needs to come back.
Paul Maurice. You know what?
Never
Marty
should've
St.
left.
Louis. I'd give Marty St. Louis a few years in Montreal and then get him over to the Leafs.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Right?
midget. Nobody. I'm sorry. I don't care how many goals he scored. He doesn't have a presence. He's not a physical presence, even though
That guy was been a chip on his shoulder guy. He knows how to talk to people who've been through it, who've told them they're never going to do it. They're not good enough, blah, 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 blah,
How
blah.
tall are you?
Right?
Give Doug Gilmore a fucking try.
Same height as me. You and I are around the
5'11".
same height. Fuck
Yeah.
you. You're like 5'9" on a good day with a tailwind.
No, I'm like 5'11", man. I got a fucking chart here in the house.
You're only like 2 inches taller than me at the most.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, closer to 5'11" than 5'10".
I'm 5'9". I think we're the same height then. I'm 5'9".
You're wearing lifts in your shoes, and the wind was fucking puckering
I
up
was
your arse.
5'10", and I think I shrunk.
There's no way. Anyway, point being, he's not a presence. And it's the same thing. You look at Bruce Boudreau, man. He's one of the most well-respected dudes. And Scotty Bowman, again, one of the most respected dudes. But it's over years. Over years. That respect didn't come in until later. And it was over years. And when Marty's got to do a lot of winning to get that respect. Being a shorter person, I hate to say it, you don't have that respect. You just don't have that respect unless
short people get
they don't
around all the time.
Yes,
I got it.
unless you're Diggler.
You start a short people, like if you get like, discriminated against as a short person, you can start a whole thing on like TikTok or something, or like on the internet.
I gotta start it right now. I have a question for you guys though. So Nyes is back to the second line. I thought he did way better than Marner did on the first line. Do you agree?
Nyes has been terrible, man. Nyes needs to be on the third line.
But I thought he did really
well.
well.
Marner is not that. He's lost a step or two. Marner needs his old man back in the building.
Yeah.
So my dad played in the Wrigley Silver Stick in '79, and the Hockey News actually just did a story about this game in the final that they played, and it was the biggest upset of Ontario history. They outshot this Quebec team. What was it, 61 to
23.
61 to 23? And who was the goalie? Can you remember who the goalie name was?
That's where he gets those.
Bunny the Rock. Bunny the Rock. But like they were all over this team, and then they were like destined to win it or whatever. And they ended up losing the 61 shots on net. And this Bunny the Rock guy. Who names their son Bunny? I don't know.
Dude, I'm old enough. I remember Bunny the Rock, man. I'm old.
He remembers him. All right. Love it. But yeah, no, that's a true story. And we can pull up the Hockey News story too. It was this year that they actually came out with this story, this throwback. And my brother was the one that shares it with us. He's like, hey, like this story's about Dad. He's like, so he's looking through the picture of the players, like, yeah, it definitely is. And so we showed it to my old man, and my old man was shocked. He's like, wow, this is crazy. That's they're talking about this in 2024, like.
I mentioned
See?
this before. My dad grew up in Huntsville, right? And
Yeah.
he was best friends with Bobby Orr's cousin, and he. Wow, I don't know if I should be telling the story or not, but I know that there was
Well,
two
you're telling
times.
it.
I won't say
Do
why.
it. Tell it
I won't.
anyway.
I
When
won't
in
say.
doubt, fucking say
Yeah.
it.
Well, I won't say why, but apparently my dad has spent uh, twice has spent time having tea and crumpets with Mrs. Orr, Bobby's mom, in Huntsville, while his cousin was upstairs talking to Bobby about borrowing money for his indiscrepancies. Let's just put it that way.
Indiscretions?
Indiscretions. Yeah, maybe that's a better word.
Jesus
Anyway, I don't know.
Christ.
Oh god.
Anyway, so he said that
Someone's getting
Mrs.
arrested if they ever hear this.
apparently Mrs. Orr made the best crumpets ever. So my dad said
All
he
right.
wasn't a tea guy, but she was super pleasant. Apparently Bobby was super cool and really nice to his cousin, and who my dad had a car and he didn't, and that's why my dad ended up driving him to visit them, I guess. But anyway, my mom. The funny part about all this is my mom had a super big crush on Bobby Orr. My mom was very athletic, and she helped do a story on Bobby Orr in the North Bay Nugget back in the 70s. I can't remember. I actually still have the poster, and apparently my mom took the picture. And the picture is Bobby Orr down at the lakefront. It's totally black, but he's in a suit with a tie, sitting on a bench at the lakefront. And then the story goes on about him, of course, but um, the picture is like jet black, just like it's almost like you, Dylan, right now. And it's just him sitting on a bench. That's it. You don't see anything else. And apparently, my mom took the picture. I have
That's
this
pretty
thing
cool.
in a 4x2 picture that my mom still had from when she took it. So,
I want to copy that, motherfucker. Give me a copy of that shit.
yeah, for sure.
I'll pay for it, and shipping and all that stuff. I want to copy that.
Come on.
But Perry Sound, so I grew up going to a cottage in Perry Sound and just love the area, just absolutely gorgeous. And they've got the Bobby Orr Museum there now. It is amazing. It definitely is worth the trip to go to Perry Sound and maybe rent a cottage, go fishing for the week, but
Yeah,
then make a trip to the Bobby Orr Museum. It really is something else. They did it a really good job with it. It's very similar to the Hockey Hall of Fame, the kind of quality and kind of what they show you. They did a really good job with the Bobby Orr Museum. I've been back 2 or 3 times actually. I really enjoy it, and every time I'm back in Perry Sound, I've kind of made a point of going there. But they also have a amphitheater there where they have concerts there now, and apparently that's where Downey secretly, and maybe you can verify for me, Scuba Steve. Downey had a secret concert for his family and friends before he passed away. Was there
Supposedly
because it
that's
had some of the best amphitheater there as well, and he also wrote an album. Oh gosh, for Channy, and it was about the natives,
Christ.
the native story, and I
yeah.
think he recorded the
6
actual recording of that album at that amphitheater.
Yeah, that's
I'm pretty sure, but he liked the acoustics so well that he wanted to give his family and friends one more concert after his tour, where he kind of that was his final concert. It was supposed to be a private concert, and he had it there apparently. But yeah, I've always wanted to go see a show there. I haven't had the luck to be there when there's a good show going on, but eventually I'll do that. But yeah, I wanted to share that as well.
So
Don't the Leafs have some crazy stat after they lose 3 in a row? Because this is the third one they've lost in a row, and then they go on a huge run. So is that tough? Please tell me that's what the fuck is happening right now, because I can't even watch this 6-1 bullshit.
yeah.
I told you,
It's fucking meant to be. It's meant to
I
be.
told you Tampa is a team. I told you guys. I guarantee you, they might be making a run. I like I think they're the
This
best
is
team.
actually going to be worse for Tampa, Jay.
We're
Being
the
Leafs-
dynasty of our generation.
Oh, for
Tampa
sure.
Bay is the dynasty.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
For sure.
Look at the players they had, man.
and
St.
Stamkos.
Louis, LeCavalier, Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, Vasilevsky, Point.
The
Yeah.
dynasty before that was
Who was their
maybe
goalie before the
Boston,
Vasilevsky?
and then before that was Detroit.
Detroit. You think Boston was
Right.
before that?
Boston.
Well,
yeah,
Boston won a couple Stanley Cups, right?
Yeah, Boston
They did.
between and then Detroit.
With
yeah,
Bert, was it Bergeron?
Pittsburgh. Can't forget about Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Stanley
Pittsburgh.
Cups there too.
Pittsburgh and New Jersey.
Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah.
New Jersey, thrown in there too.
And then,
But yeah,
then again,
well, yeah,
the
Stevens.
Islanders-
Oh,
the Islanders before Edmonton. But
there's been a few in our lifetime, but I think that right now, for I guess Generation X, the newbies, the ones that are watching hockey now that are maybe in their 20s, Tampa Bay's been the dominant team in their life.
well, you got to listen. Vegas has only been in for a while, and they're right up there, man. They're always running for it. Like they've won it and they've been in it quite a bit.
Well,
They went to the final in their first year.
You look at McCrimmon.
Cuba?
McCrimmon ran the Brandon Wheat Kings for how many years? And Brandon was in the finals for how many years? And then he went to Vegas, and now they're nowhere in sight at all. Like McCrimmon is he's a great guy. I've had many beers with him.
So the Wheat Kings aren't doing well without him.
They've been out for a while. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's got to be some energy these guys bring, right? They must bring some
absolutely.
energy,
Let me tell you
creativity, some leadership that is just.
I'll interrupt there. I don't
I'm
want to
not.
go back to what J Dog has said before. You can have a shitty fucking year, but the years that you remember are because of the coach that you had, the impact that person
Right.
had on you.
Right.
You know, and the reason why I won 2 provincial championships when I grew up was with the same guys I played for 6 years, same coach, was because of Tim Brown. Tim Brown played in the AHL, was a great hockey mind, but an absolute guy that can get somebody fucking pumped and dialed in, you know, and somebody that would celebrate the team the right way and have you coming back and wanting you to play for him.
Motivating.
And that's the coaches that you need to
Mhm.
inspire even the highest level of players to the
Mhm.
lowest level is these coaches that inspire you, that want you to actually be like, I want to be on his fucking team again, you know, and like it resonates to the NHL as well. It absolutely does.
It does it
Yeah.
at every level, especially at the grassroots level, boys. I'll tell you right now. So this weekend,
In every organization, Jay, work,
Yesterday-
even at work, even in your business.
I'm going to go stay at a buddy of mine's. Him and his wife just came down to my place, Ron and Tammy Gurrell. His dad passed away, unfortunately, just in the last year. He was one of my coaches. My dad was not really into sports. He was more of a car guy. Learned a lot of shit from my dad, but, sports wasn't one of it. My mom was more the sports person. It's kind of, that type of thing. So, but Ron's dad, and he was Ronnie Sr., rest in peace, was one of, I think there's 3 or 4 brothers. Ron, Ray, what was Rob Gurrell's dad's name? Hector, and there's one other. Anyway, all the Gurrell boys. So that Ronnie was, he played for the Hamilton Ticats. He was my coach. Played for the Hamilton Ticats, got stepped on with back in the day, the guys used to wear steel cleats, and apparently stepped on the inside of his groin. Somebody stepped on the inside of his groin and tore out basically every muscle on the inside of his leg. That was the end of his career. And he just coached, get back, not everything. Coached, I think he coached just about everything. He coached us in baseball, coached us in hockey. He was a pretty big influence in my life. And his brother coached Steven, what was Randy's dad's name? Ray Gurrell, coach, and Stephen as well. They were just like the whole Gurrell family has been like in our community has been hockey just didn't survive without them. Leafs just scored. But
Brody!
yeah,
TJ Bruno.
yeah, the rest,
TJ Brutal.
our community in North Bay and Calendar has been blessed with the Gravel family as far as hockey's concerned. This weekend coming up, there's a big family tournament, and the Gravels have their team in. I'm going to be going to watch. I'm actually staying at Ron and Tammy's this weekend, and I'm going to go watch just because they're the family's just like they got a great bunch.
Reeves is +2.
Yeah. Ron's nephew was drafted. I think his son played in the OHL too. I can't remember, but anyway, the whole family's been like a great. His cousin Randy is a great player. His brother Glennie was a great player too. These guys were all really. The whole family's just gifted sports wise. And in our community, I had little hats off to the Gravel family because they were a big part of everybody's life when it comes to sports here. And I'm going to enjoy myself with a couple of beers at their place and have a few stories with his dad or about his dad, I'm sure, this weekend. Hats off to the roots level people that, that make our lives different, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like definitely, my dad coaching baseball with a guy named Nick Jarris, and also the coaches that did inspire me, with Tim Brown and I think Tim Lynch and oh gosh, a couple others that just don't come to mind, but literally change your life, and really inspire you to do what's best, whether on the ice or off the ice or at work, they really change you. And that's why I think that Dylan, I thought it was just so awesome that you were getting involved in coaching your kids, because it really does change kids' lives, and having a coach that will put in time with them, but then also teach them those things that you're not going to learn in the classroom. And that's such a true statement, and that's why I'm putting my kids into sports, and I really pushed my kid towards learn how to skate and getting better on the ice, so I can put him into hockey next year, because he's 6 now, and he's a big boy. He's bigger than anybody else in his grade. He's in grade 1. I know, another one for Austin off the post there, but he's in grade 1, and he's the size of grade 4s. Like, he's a huge kid, and he might be one of the biggest kids in his age group. So yeah, I'm gonna push him to do his best, and I'll be guiding him along the way. Will I get into coaching? 100% I will, because I can't play the game anymore. So I definitely be coaching him along the way, but not at the start. I'll let somebody else do that, but I'll get involved at the Pee Wee level where I know I can make an impact with the hitting and the fighting and the rough stuff, and that's just kind of my forte. But yeah, coaching is really made a difference on my life, and yeah, it's extremely important for sure.
Sorry,
So-
I'm just fucking reading the comments, the Core 4 comments. Some of them are just hilarious.
Yeah.
Some guys like
Just imagine.
some guys like Willie floating around there like a shitty bag in the wind, and then someone else comments, "Yeah, another 8 years of floating."
Yeah, another 8 years at 11.5. Like,
So-
are you fucking kidding me? Who the fuck signed that goddamn fucking deal? Like, who wrote that fucking shit up? Fucking Brendan Shanahan, fucking crackhead.
So listen up, boys. Darren Turca just got back to me. Said, sorry, just getting home from some tryouts and evaluations. Not a great night because he just got in the door. So with some advance notice, should be able to make something work after this weekend. Things will slow down. He says, by the way, he saw my profile picture. He says, that backswing in your profile picture is as long as John Daly. If I did that, my spine would break in 2 pieces. So my buddy that golfs
Did he get it, Dad?
No.
yeah.
I was gonna say.
So my buddy that golfs with him up at North Bay Golf and Country Club there, Greg Mann, he always says I'm the most flexible fat guy he's ever met in his life. So so that falls in line with that. So anyway, right, Dylan, you and
I'd love to have him on the show. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this video of this like overweight guy, like chubbier guy, like skateboarding, backflips, running around. Like, it was insane. It was actually crazy. I wish I could find the video. And he's like, like proving to everybody that you can look out of shape and still be like an incredible athlete. He was doing all kinds of shit, man.
You gotta
Yeah.
stretch. You gotta get out there every day. Like practice makes perfect, right?
Turk says,
Yeah.
he goes, he says, "Oh, come on." He says, "But if it's during the Leaf game, you better do it quick." He doesn't think that they're going to make it too far. So,
Oh, too funny.
Oh, yeah,
check
no
this
doubt.
out. My brother's
We'll have,
got
them,
the,
we'll have them in the off season after we hoist the cup. We'll have,
Check it
all right.
No, there they go.
Hip beer. I
That's
like that.
amazing.
Is it a cider or is it a beer?
cider. Steven
All right,
collects.
sweet.
He's got like wine with the Tragically Hip. Everything to do with Tragically Hip, he's got everything. He's got all sorts of shit. I got this.
Yeah,
awesome-
he's got fucking pads. Christ almighty. Of course he's got everything.
Yeah.
I had the
Yeah.
fucking pads. I'd start collecting like crazy too. Then again,
Well,
if my brother was on this show, he can show you some pretty cool shit. He's a little
Well,
bit bigger of a collector than I am, and he's got a ton of fucking hip shit.
Yeah, I have a guy from I moved next to this guy from Sudbury, and he was my neighbor for the longest time. And he had he was a huge Boston Bruins fan. His name was Barry Wormington, and he grew up in the Sudbury area. And he had a huge family, the Wormington brothers. They played baseball and shit. I think his dad played like pro baseball, and it was the same thing. Massive collection of memorabilia. It was crazy.
So this is sorry to interrupt. This is strategy, and then I want to go to what Scuba Steve got to say about his collection. But Tampa Bay's up 6-3, and we pulled the net to try and go for Maddie's 70th. I fucking love it. Absolutely love it.
I knew Keith was going to pull the goalie at any time just to get it.
I just fucking love it. Anyway, Scuba Steve, I want to hear about your collection. What else? What other shit do you got?
When did we get the third goal? Who got the third goal?
Hold on. Before we even go there, we were talking about history there earlier. Let me tell you a little bit of history. Tim Horton, before Tim Hortons was Tim Hortons, and we'll put the picture up.
60 years now, eh? This is the 60th
just wait.
year.
It was a burger joint before it was a coffee joint, and the very first store was here in North Bay, Ontario, and one of the first employees was our mother.
No,
that's awesome.
Not a joke.
hilarious.
So we'll send you a picture. You guys can look it up, but you can look it up. But we'll send you a picture of the shop. It was an A-frame place, and it was not like it wasn't pretty, but it was number 7, and it was Tim Hortons number 7 Burger Shack is what it was called, and then they switched it to coffee joint afterwards. Yeah, look it up right now. You can put it up there. I guarantee you a picture will come up.
They don't like
I'll put on the team championship. I got that picture, so I'll throw
They
that
don't-
up here.
Steven just said that I don't know if you heard him, but they don't like the fact that they had the burger joint first. I don't know why, but it's true. I've brought it up several times now. The Moffat brothers here in North Bay own like 9 of the 11 Tim Hortons that are here, and they were both referees in the American League and I think in the NHL as well. I asked Peter Moffat a few years back at one of the golf tournaments up at North Bay Golf and Country Club.
You guys see that? There we go.
Who's that? Rangers.
it's Blakey.
Oh, that's Blakey. Yeah.
In the blonde hair, which one is he?
In the back.
So the guy that's holding the sign, my son is the one to the left.
Oh, okay. The blonde hair, though, I don't know why they always go blonde. Go the color of the team. Go red.
The Vikings.
Red, crazy
family-
bastards.
So that's brag a little bit. That's actually to win the A side it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Scotts wants tough hockey.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know Wendell
Very
Clark,
difficult.
sir. Those guys all come from there, and those roots run deep in Saskatchewan. It's a tough place to play.
It really is, and I've heard really good things about just period, like the mid, like not West Coast, like the mid coast, right? Like the mid Canada, in Manitoba, Saskatchewan. There's some great hockey that's played there. There really is.
No, it's the
Fantastic.
grassroots of hockey in Canada. Ontario's always got plenty, But let's face it, we all know that politics plays a lot to do with just about everything in sports. And Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba have been left out of hockey at the grassroots level. You don't hear about it as much. You hear, and there's a lot of Ontarians that are, playing in the NHL that got into the NHL over guys from Saskatchewan and Manitoba and Alberta due to the politics of it and the financial aspect of it and who you are, who you know, all that kind of shit. Same thing in Quebec. I honestly believe that we're missing out on a lot of players that end up going to play in Europe, end up going to play in Russia, in Czech Republic and whatever. The guys that could have played in the NHL. You look at all the teams that we've had that guys you never heard of that played in Spengler Cup, that played in the World Cup. You haven't
Tavares,
and
not Mattthews. Tavares.
You're so behind me, brother.
In the NHL.
Yeah. Is it over?
Yeah.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
This is like when when they tried to get Marner as a 100th point last year. Remember that?
Yeah, I know. It's okay though. It's all right. Like, you know what? Like the more important thing is that number one, we're gonna talk about stats right now, and real quickly we'll end the stream with stats. So Leafs are number 1 or number 3 in checking for the year. The year prior they were third last. So that's a huge stat right there. Number 2, Austin Mattthews is on a fucking heater and a half.
Yeah.
He is. He's the best player in the league.
Yeah, he scored 20 more goals than he did last year.
Kucherov and Connor McDavid, they're nowhere
not even close
anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like I really don't think that he's gonna even run into Kucherov or into McDavid anytime soon. Or even period in the playoffs towards Stanley Cup. I think that both teams will be eliminated. That's my personal thought. But if Poppy can get on a hot streak and we can get him the puck and the team that if Boston cannot shut him down, I don't think there's no way that they can fucking beat us. If he keeps scoring the rate that he's scoring, and the Leafs keep scoring the rate that they've scored all year, fuck, man, it's gonna be crazy. But we gotta bring the fifth with us because it's not gonna go down with a bunch of fights.
I agree that they're going to beat Boston, but I don't think it's on. Of course, they have to score more goals to win, but I don't think the goal scoring is going to be the consideration. I think the physicality will be. The Leafs have been beaten up by the Bruins for years, and this is going to be the first year that Boston's going to surprise. They are going to beat the fuck out of them physically, and I think the first 2 games will be. Even if they lose the first 2 games, I'm not joking. Even if they lose the first 2 games, I think the physicality that I think the plan is. If they're smart, is to beat the fuck out of them physically because they can't.
That.
The first year they've ever been able to do that in probably 10 or 15 years.
Take fucking Reeves, put him out on the ice. Like I said, Bertuzzi, Reeves, Domi to start, and with fucking Evanson and fucking McCabe, and start the game with that.
Start the game with a line brawl.
Have it, fucking line brawl and attack fucking Marchand. Smash his fucking face into the fucking ice. If Reeves doesn't play another game in the playoffs, that's fine. Fucking take him the fuck out. Get him out of the goddamn series. He's pissed at McCabe anyway, right? Marchand. So maybe McCabe's the one that beats the fucking shit out of Marchand. Marchand can't fight. He's a pussy. He's a fucking pussy. He never fights. He always turtles. He doesn't like to fight. He's a pussy.
I honestly believe Reeves has actually been playing really well, cycling the puck. Yeah. He's not been a liability like he was in the first half of the season, and he was. There's no question. I hated it because I wanted him to be something, But he's come around in the last 15 games. He's given the opportunity. He's made the most of it. He's cycling the puck well. He's rarely in his own zone. He's always in the neutral zone or in the opposing zone. And he's ragging the puck the whole time. Yeah, he's not trying to score. That's not his job. But he's being physical. The whole line's physical. And they're playing well. They're not playing bad. Tonight's an exception. However, I don't think they got a lot of ice time tonight either. I think their line only got 2.5 minutes, maybe 3.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
do you know how? Did you know that they sold out Mullet Arena and the tickets are insane for the last ever Coyotes game there right now?
Well, of course, for fuck's sakes. Like, oh my God, I'm losing our team. We might as well go
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna-
experience it.
Yeah, they
Fuck
got the
you.
towels for the
Fucking
whiteout tonight
bullshit.
and everything.
Okay, you're bringing it up. Fucking, this is what's happening. So fucking, they're giving Phoenix the right to try and appeal in 5 years. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit, Dylan. They're fucking expanding again. That's what they're fucking doing. They're giving what, Salt Lake another fucking. Is that
They're
where they're
giving
going?
Salt Lake a
Salt
team,
Lake.
and then they have 5 years
Yeah,
to get a
and then
team.
Phoenix is coming back. Yeah, they're just expanding again.
Let-
They're being,
see,
it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's
What
all
is this? This
conspiracy,
is
dude.
like a sneaky
But
way
still,
to.
it's a bunch of bullshit.
it's
But
the
they
same
don't
way
have to pay the expansion fee or something, or how?
Exactly, bro.
Oh, so
billion
Phoenix has 5 years to bring a team back,
Yeah.
and they don't have to
It's fucking-
expand. And they're bringing a team over to Salt Lake City with no expansion fee to pay.
Exactly.
So the other
Yes,
teams
brother.
don't get an expansion fee.
Hey,
How
hey,
is
again,
how
like I
how
said
how
numerous times.
wait. How is the rest
Okay.
of the league, the rest of the teams not being like, wait a second, where's my share of the $500 billion fucking expansion fee that I usually get?
You know why? Fuck Batman. I've said it numerous times. He's a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, dude.
He's making
You're
some
a piece of
backdoor
shit.
deals. He's doing some sneaky shit.
Yeah,
Did you-
fuck Batman.
Whatever. You know what? Bring on another team. Grow the league. I hope
Steve.
there's 40. Dude, there's
wanna
so
hear from
much
Scuba.
talent out
Scuba
there.
Steve.
There's so much NHL talent that hasn't even broke into the league. Bring on 40 teams, man. Let's have a 40-team league. There's so many good hockey players out there
dude.
that don't even have a chance to play. Give Quebec a team. Give the Maritimes a team. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's fucking go.
litter another 4 or 5 teams in the U.S. to make it almost impossible for a Canadian team to win again. Of
Yeah, well,
course
this
Batman
is
will
our
do
year,
that.
baby. This is
Oh,
it.
fucking it is. It fucking
Winnipeg,
is.
Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto.
we called
It's
Winnipeg.
coming back to
Steve.
Canada this year.
Scuba.
I tell you right now.
Scuba,
It's coming.
I want to
Canada.
hear from Scuba Steve. Scuba, what do you got to say about this, brother?
All I was going to say was, did you notice how the locker room was in Arizona? Did you see that picture? It's just a drape.
So
No.
stupid.
posing. So I have friends that own houses down there, and they're going to the games. You could go for $45 American, get a couple foot long hot dogs, drinks, blah blah blah. They said they were sitting right by the stairwell, and the guys were right there. The teams were right there,
Oh,
and
Get
it's like,
dressed.
yeah, like, and it's not for them to say there was nobody that went to the games is bullshit, because we used to go to the games, and there's tons of Canadians that go to Arizona games, tons.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
the fact that there had to be something else for them to not show the amount of people that were there, because there were people there.
Something's fucked up. They don't get the funding. But
But
listen, the players hate it there. They fucking
Yeah.
hate it. The rooms
They
are
do.
gross.
I don't know
They don't
why.
get they
Arizona's
get
fucking
shitty.
awesome.
They don't get all the perks of every other team. It
Well,
is
the
the
taxes,
butthole.
they're still-
It is the butthole of the NHL.
They're still
Like,
paying taxes. They're not like Florida and Texas where the taxes are really low. The taxes are still fairly high there. So yeah, they get all the benefits of golfing after work and you know, like
that's nothing, man. They don't get the same type of treatment.
Yeah, oh,
That's
yeah,
nothing. They don't get the same kind of doctors, the same kind of physiotherapists, the massage rooms, all the perks. Like
but-
playing in Toronto, you got state of the art everything.
But they get the dry air for the golf courses after, though. Dry air, the ball flies farther.
No,
the better golf
They get fucking
courses.
golf
Like,
balls.
yeah,
Here's
golf
fucking golf
Arizona's
balls.
fucking dope.
Take this fucking set. Have some balls, boys. Have some
No,
balls.
taxes-
We'll have some fun.
Anyway,
Taxes,
let's end it, brothers.
after work activities mean a lot to these boys. Let me tell you, guaranteed.
bet.
Damn right. Damn right. Anyway, let's end the live stream. We love yous. If you've stayed with us or are checking out this live stream after we posted it, smash that like button, share the show, tell a friend about our show. We'd appreciate it. Really enjoy you tuning in. But yeah, you know what? The number one fucking thing to say right now is go Leafs, go. Let's bring it Saturday. Tune in for our live Saturday pregame show. We'll do it live and then we'll throw it on Core 4 after. And another shout out to Core 4. You guys are the best. I'm Jamie Young, Coach Nose. We got Scuba Steve in the house for the first time.
Special
And we got
guest.
J-Dog. Thanks so much for being part. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Fuck, man. Playoffs. Most wonderful time of the year. See you next time, folks.
See you Saturday. Let's go.
Thanks,
Yeah.
boys.